Happy Thursday, AHE families. Today is a special day for Anna Haas. Today is Autism Awareness Day. And here at Anna Haas, we are proud and excited to celebrate this day. And we are going to celebrate this day by 3 different fun activities. The first one is all of our staff will be wearing these shirts in honor of Autism Awareness Day. The second is we have some fun video clips from our students in the autism program, just to kind of give you a day in their life. And the third one is a book that is read by our autism team to hopefully educate you guys a little bit more on what it is like a day in the life of a student with autism. We hope you enjoy.
Hi, Anna Haas Hawks. Today is a very special day. It is April 2nd. It is National Autism Awareness Day. Our autism team has brought you a very special book to help you understand a little more about the autism spectrum disorder. Today we're going to read to you Nathan's Autism Spectrum Superpowers. Hi, my name is Nathan and I have superpowers. Okay, so many superpowers don't include superhuman strength or the ability to fly, although that would be very cool. My superpower comes from my autism spectrum abilities. Autism affects how I interact with other people and the world around me, how I communicate with others, and how I learn and process information. The official term is Autism Spectrum Disorder, or ASD, but I just like to say autism. Spectrum means kids with autism have a range of their own unique abilities and challenges. For example, some kids on the spectrum are nonverbal. That means they don't use words or express themselves. Other kids on the spectrum not only talk, but will sometimes use really big words. But all the kids on the spectrum have some aspect of communication delay. If you don't have autism superpowers, don't worry. It doesn't mean you're any less awesome. It just means we interact differently with the world around us. If you do have autism superpowers, you still might not have the same ones I have because of how we process information in our own ways. An example of this is most kids with autism usually underreact or are hyposensitive, or overreact, which means they are hypersensitive to sensory input. We have trouble with our sensory information. These are the things we see, hear, taste, smell, touch, and even the way we move around. Our bodies can think the sensory information is too strong and then we want to avoid it. Or the sensory information is too weak and then we seek it out. So let me tell you all about my superpowers and how they would affect my interaction with the world. My first superpower is supersonic hearing. Noises seem much louder to me than they do to most people. Blaring music, fireworks booming, people yelling. Those things drive me crazy. Want to know what else bothers me? The buzz of the light bulbs, the hand dryers in the public restroom, and the loud hum of a vacuum. They may seem like background noise to others, but when I hear them, I just can't think. Sometimes, when my supersonic hearing takes over, I can't pay attention when I should. Other times, I curl up in a corner with my hands over my ears to try and block out the noise. So, if you see your friends become overwhelmed by this supersonic hearing, he won't be able to figure out what to do. If you see him covering his ears, you can help him find a quiet place where he can regroup. Headphones also help block out the noise too. If you find your friend is distracted by a background noise and can't pay attention, try and help him figure out what it is and see if we can move to another room or even stop the noise.
Another superpower I have is what I like to call Absolute Select Focus, or ASF for short. All this means is that I can choose to focus every ounce of my energy, thought, and attention onto one thing or activity. And that makes me happy. Too much going on around me feels overwhelming, so I enjoy having just one thing at a time to concentrate on. I love to lie on the floor and roll my wooden trains back and forth on their tracks all day long, or line up all my Matchbox cars in a perfect row, or construct creations with brick sets. I even love to draw funny doodles and create intricate mazes and fold origami creations. I can pay attention to something I am interested in for hours and hours and be perfectly content. My next superpower is my ability to have complete confidence in my Plan A. Okay, so this isn't actually a superpower. This has more to do with my unique toolbox. My mom says everyone is born with a toolbox, but instead of hammers and pliers, this kind of toolbox has things to help me deal with different situations. My toolbox was missing a couple of items, like a Plan B. This basically means when something happens, I only have one way to deal with it. If my Plan A doesn't work, I have no idea what to do next. Nothing, nada, zilch. Sometimes when my Plan A doesn't work out, I get so frustrated that I lose control and I yell and I run into a wall because I don't know what else to do. Luckily, I have my mom who is very good at putting on her calm face and modeling a Plan B for me. She shows me how to deal with a situation step by step, over and over again, until I finally understand what to do next. Mom calls it putting tools in my toolbox. It turns out that it's really great to have those tools and know how to use them. Thanks, Mom.
Another superpower that can overwhelm me is my super sniffer. I really don't like strong smells, especially body odor, bad breath, perfumes, or even scented lotion. Some foods even offend my super sniffer. So if I suddenly leave an area or make a remark about a smell, blame it on my super sniffer. Interestingly, some kids with autism love strong smells. Their super sniffer seeks them out. Helpful hints for friends. If your friend with autism has trouble with smells, try not to wear strong scents or perfumes. Be understanding if she has to leave the room because her sensory system is bothered by certain smells. On the other hand, if your friend loves smells, help her find appropriate or good things to use her super sniffer on. My superpower of intense enhanced eyesight seems to kick in when I'm somewhere with strobe lights, bright lights, or blinking lights, sometimes even with ordinary ceiling lights. My eyes overreact and my whole system goes haywire. When this happens, my only hope is to cover my face to block out as much as I can. My mom helps me move somewhere that doesn't bother me. Sometimes that means just stopping our activities for the day and going home. Helpful hints for friends. Bright lights can really bother your friend, and if he gets upset and covers his eyes, that is probably what is going on. Lead him to a place that's not so bright, or try and turn off some of the lights in the room. If your friend loves lights, find fun things to look at, like light up toys, fiber optics fun, bubble lamps, etc. One of my favorite superpowers is masterful memory. I love reading and learning about my favorite subjects. I've memorized books and I even know which pages contain which facts. Of course, that only applies to information that interests me. I enjoy facts, lots and lots of facts. It might surprise you, but even though I love facts, I have a very hard time remembering people's names and faces. I've been told it's because faces have a lot of movement and information, and that can be overwhelming. But give me a minifigure dictionary and I can memorize every single character along with the year it was made. Helpful hints for friends. Let your friend with autism teach you about what she loves. If she sometimes forgets your name, just smile and tell her again. You might even help come up with a way to remember. For example, if your name is Lily, tell her to think of a flower for when she sees you.
All right, ready? Go. Regular routine retention. This means I love routine. Eating the same thing for breakfast every morning, doing the same activities during the day, going to the same places and staying there for the same amount of time. I hate change. Change is my kryptonite. Change comes from the dark side. I need to know way ahead of time if things are going to be different. and even then, I don't like it. Helpful hints for our friends. Changing plans can be hard for your friend with autism. Let him know as soon as possible. Giving him a typed out schedule can make it easier. If your friend is upset about a routine change, tell him you know how he feels and help him understand that we can't always control everything that happens in our day. And if you look in our classroom, we have a schedule too for our friends. The next superpower is my actual, factual, literal power. I literally take things literally, which means if you tell me a joke, I may not get the funny part. I take what you say and believe it exactly the way you said it. I'm not even kidding. I see things in black and white. That means I don't understand sarcasm, and I don't like surprises. This also means I like to make sense in a way I can understand. For instance, saying it's raining cats and dogs, I'm gonna really think that we're raining cats and dogs. Helpful hints for our friends. Your friend with autism won't get sly jokes and sarcasm. She will believe what you meant and what you said. That's very frustrating, but you can explain the joke and point out in a way it's funny to help her understand. There are good and bad things about having superpowers. The bad thing is that my superpowers don't come with a reaction regulator. It's very hard to regulate or control my emotions. When I get hurt or sad or frustrated, my emotions go straight from feeling great to ready to explode, and I completely overreact. My mom made a scale for me to help visualize what my reaction should be when different things happen. I call this my reaction regulator. It has numbers from 1 to 5 to go along with emotion levels. It goes something like this. My mom points to the reaction scale and says, Nathan, you lost your favorite mini figure. That is a 2, which is the same as bummer, not totally emergency. You need to bring your reaction down to a 2. So this is him thinking, looking at his schedule. Do I freak out? Ah! Or do I say, not a big deal, it's okay. Helpful hints for our friends. If your friend suddenly yells or cries, don't panic. Talk to her in a calm, quiet voice. Try and figure out why she's upset. Give her a number on the scale of how she should be reacting, and make sure she knows how you're there to help her with the situation. So for instance, here's our overreaction scale. 5, total emergency, you can freak out. 4, having a bad day, okay to be sad. 3, not going as planned, taking a moment, then move on. 2, unexpected situation, bummer, not a big deal. And 1, life is good, be happy.
Hi, Miss Lopez here, continuing Nathan's Autism Spectrum Superpowers. My brain is always thinking about something. This is called my perpetual atomic brain activation. I'll just be sitting somewhere trying to pay attention when my brain starts thinking about something completely different, and I can't make it stop. A lot of times, I'm thinking about several things at once, like doodles I'm working on, my favorite video game creation, and my current building brick project, all at the same time. It's very hard to pay attention to what I'm supposed to be thinking about when my perpetual atomic brain activation is working. I feel like I'm completely locked into my current project and I can't leave until I'm finished. These superpowers, what's a guy got to do? Helpful hints for friends. If your friend is thinking about a project and can't move on, you can help. Figure out how to finish the activity or come up with a time to come back to it. Writing down your friend's project in a small notebook might help him understand it's okay to take a break and come back later. So I have Post-its. This is a great thing to have in class. And when you see a friend struggling, or maybe he has something on his mind, or he or she, you can write, come back later, with a happy face. That way he knows that it's okay to take a break, or she, and you can slap it on and make sure it sticks out so you know to come back later, and you can take a break and they can take a break, and that would really help your friend out. Bye!
Energy levels. My mom helped me figure out activities that are energy draining and activities that are energy building. I usually imagine my energy levels like a battery. Sometimes I tell my mom how much percent my battery has left. Like, Mom, I'm powering down. I'm at 15%. We try and limit energy draining activities and add energy building activities into my schedule. This really helps me deal with life better, and the energy builders recharge my battery. Nathan's energy drainers are leaving the house, field trips, eating, traveling, sports. Energy builders are building bricks, doodling, swinging or spinning, video games, and heavy blanket. Encouragement. All of my superpowers put together can sometimes make me seem what people call socially awkward. I don't get jokes. I can't read body language. I don't care what I wear as long as my clothes are soft and loose. I prefer to process life like a robot. I just don't act or respond the same as other kids my age. Until people understand my superpowers, they won't ever fully understand me and appreciate me for who I am. My mom always says we need to be kind and encourage each other. We need to build up each other's strengths instead of focusing on their weaknesses. For now, I'm going to appreciate my own autism spectrum superpowers and encourage others to appreciate people for who they are. Well, that was exhausting. I'm going to play with my building bricks in my room by myself. Encourage each other.